Hello, hello, and welcome back. As you can see, I'm here with Beetle. He's probably going to be present a lot in this video. Say what's up before you go run away. Aw, yeah. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of KrÿsCreates. Thank you for everyone who came and gave me a little follow or like on the last video. I really appreciate it. Supporting this journey is amazing, and it's only going to go from here. I have a lot planned for the rest of this year, and I want to use this video to maybe go a little bit more into depth of like, what do I want this channel to be? Who am I? And I guess maybe some updates. On top of that though, this is KrÿsCreates, and so I will be creating a ring. I've been on this kick recently of making a lot of jewelry, and when I mean recently, I mean the last year, and I just recently got into metal wire bending, crafting. I think he's got the zoomies. But anyway, and I've been diving into like rings, pendants, and really using like natural gemstones and other materials like what I will be using today on the ring, which is coral and freshwater pearl. And I'm thinking about starting to sell some of my pieces. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's dive into it. We're gonna be using this. This is coral, and I think that's the back of it that you didn't just see. Oop, there we go, the front. And then this is gonna be our freshwater pearl. And I'm specifically going in with these because I want to do like a design where they're like laid on themselves. I'm gonna set up my second little camera, but I'm gonna be making a ring out of these today, as well as those little beads. I'm gonna be using some copper wire. This is like a darker oxidized copper wire, and then a lighter thin copper wire. I believe that this is 16 gauge and this one is 24 gauge. But yeah, I'm gonna show you kind of the basics of how to make this ring, but also mainly I'm gonna be just chatting with y'all while I create this. So let's get started. All right, guys, I had to just take care of some mood setting business. Nah, I mean, but back to it. I just don't love the way that this camera's setting right now. But okay, we're gonna go in first with this copper wire. All right, this is the 16 gauge, and I really want to just make a base for this ring, and I'm making a ring for this finger right here. So let's just take that, and I actually use this bead container because I want like more of a smooth wraparound. And I'll be real here, this bead container seems way too small for my finger. Test it, way too small. So all I'm gonna do here now is just kind of like push these two ends at each other. And that'll like allow this circle to open up a bit. But that's why like pre-wrapping it first is nice. And now that fits, but it's still a little snug, so just a bit more. Go ahead like that. And when I'm making new rings, I really like to create like these bits that are going to be hanging off. I've found that that can be like a good base to wrap some more wire and create like more of a platform for like any type of stone than just having this, you know. You'll see as I get there. I might just be blabbing. But I'm gonna go ahead and trim that bad boy. I just took a huge little hunk of 24 gauge wire, and I'm really honestly like haphazardly gonna be, oh, Beetle loves playing with the wire. But I'm just kind of wrapping this beginning around. It's gonna get snipped off. This beginning part doesn't really matter how it looks, you know what I'm saying? Really, from here, we're gonna start on, okay. Beetle is going to be going crazy, guys. I'm just going to wrap it through like this, and we're going to create our first loop. Beetle, quit it. And I think that the pattern I'm going to go for on this one today is we're going to go 3 loops around the same wire. If you see here, there's two wires, right? And so I like to alternate between single wraps and double wraps. That's going to be what you see, like the most common way to make ring bases. And it ends up being super secure and looking very professional. I don't know what my obsession is with the word professional. Actually, guys, let's get into a deep talk. All right. I obviously am an artist, as you can see, and I do a lot of art. And like to just talk a little bit of what this channel is going to be. Obviously, I just want to show off my art. Like, I am a jack of all trades, and people usually say like the second part of that phrase is master of none, but I don't think that I'm not a master of things. Like, to be honest, like I get into stuff and I want to master it, you know? I want to have a bajillion hobbies. I want to do all the art. I want to explore it all. And I want to be accessible. Now, am I going to be the top in the world? No. Probably not in anything. I'm going to be the top in the world at whatever I live my life how. You know, like I'm going to be the best at doing me. But am I probably going to like shake the world with my pottery techniques? I don't do pottery. But like if I did, no, I'm probably going to do pottery one day. And like I just want to do it though. And there are certain things, certain art forms that I've spent a lot of time like getting into, you know, that would be art, like visual art, singing, tattooing. I would say jewelry making is now up there, at least this type of jewelry making. I would love to get into like jewelry making with like heat and stuff, you know what I mean? But like I would say that I'm pretty great at these certain areas now. And I really just want KrÿsCreates to be a place where, regardless of what project I'm doing, I can just share it and like encourage other people to go out and make something, you know? I think that to circle back to the word professional and I guess my obsession with it, like, I think I undervalue myself a lot because I don't see, I don't know, like, that my art is good enough. And I know it is. I really know it is. I know I'm just my biggest critic. But I don't know. Like, I think that that's also why I'm making this channel is to just really take myself a bit more seriously and like the ways that I create a little bit more seriously because I believe I do deserve that. And this artist side of me deserves a platform for that, you know? And so, to kind of touch on my last video, I had a lot of fun like creating and editing it, but to be real here, I'm probably not going to be like as silly with the editing going forward. It was cute, it was fun, it was silly. I've always wanted to edit a video like that, and I'm all for just being authentically me and giving something a try. But I really do just want to like have a space to do crafts and chat it up, you know, and show people how to DIY, you know? I think that being authentically yourself, like, is all about what you create for yourself. Like, you know, obviously just pursue the things you love. But I do believe that art is like very important for expression. Um, and I believe that the way that you live and like the way that you show out in the world can be artistic. I feel like a walking piece of art every single day that I step outside, you know, and obviously that's very intentional. And I feel that that radiates on the world, you know? Even though I've got like so many tattoos and a snake on my head and crazy hair, like you'd be really surprised the amount of positive response that I get from just every type of person. Of course, there's going to be some just very judgmental people here and there, always, you know, but like surprisingly, like it's a lot of like the most stuck up people who are some of the kindest to me, you know, and I end up having like pretty meaningful and cool conversations with because I don't know, like I catch them off guard a little bit. And I think that that's what I just want to like create this space for, is a space for people to just be themselves, no judgment, um, and see what authenticity can really bring to you, and like what being your best self can really bring into your life. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm still on a journey to like become the very best version of myself. But I'm telling you right now, like, I can definitely say that every move I make and step I take at this point in my life is in true alignment with my highest self and with where I want to be and who I want to be, you know? And I just want to like create space for that journey, you know? And if you want to join me on this journey, let's do it. But all right, back to this ring. Oh, it seems like both cameras have been recording this whole time. Beauteous. But I have gotten this far in stringing. Okay. What we're doing here, like I said, is we're going to wrap around twice on the bottom and then we're going around the loops. Or we're going, sorry, rephrase. We are going around 3 times on the bottom and then wrapping around both twice and then just repeating that pattern. It's gonna start leaning in at points because it is having more pull this way than this way. And so what you want to do there is literally just take your fingers and try to straighten it out as you're wrapping so that that way it stays a bit more in alignment. And I'm going to be using these tools throughout the video, which is my round nose plier and then my little nippers. These are the only tools that I use for this project. The rest is just my hands. So I'm just going to continue wrapping this. And once I'm done with this, it becomes the hard part of adding the gem. Gem, I mean adding the coral. But to get kind of back into little updates and what this space is for, I've got a lot of exciting things on the horizon. Christos, who is my beautiful, absolute love of my life partner boyfriend, here's a picture. Him and I have a very exciting journey ahead. And I don't want to say exactly where yet. In a couple weeks, I think I will officially announce where we are heading. But sometime within, hopefully June is the goal, beginning mid-June, we are going to be flying out of the United States and going to a different country for an undetermined amount of time. Who knows? The last time Christos went on this journey, he ended up living there for 6 years. Now, do I think I'm going to be living there for 6 years? I don't know. But that's why I'm so excited, y'all. I believe that I'll make like a bit of a longer separate, maybe this will be next week's video, is about just like taking risks and like, you know, going on the journey that your soul needs you to go on. You know what I'm saying? And really trusting in your gut, like when you have that journey. But that's what I'm doing, and that's what Christos is doing. I'm so like blessed to have found a partner that has the adventurous spirit that I've always had. And like this is actually happening. And I know, I don't know, I don't want to tell y'all too much yet. Because we're still in a little bit of a planning phase, you know, but I can say it's definitely happening. And I'm so excited. And that's what I'm in the works for right now. We're both working our ass off, making a little cash here and there to keep saving so that we can be comfortable once we get there and, you know, enjoy as much time as we want. So that's on the horizons. Anything else updates wise? Oh yeah, we went to a super fun little community event. It was a dope chick named Naira. She had made this Instagram video and it was like, if you're a part of, you know, Chicago, or not even in Chicago, there were some people from like Detroit there, which was really cool. And I think like Michigan. But anyway, she made like a post saying, come over to this park. I'm having my birthday on May the 4th and just pull up and have fun. And it was awesome. Christos and I pulled up and he invited a couple of his friends and we ended up having a super fun time and met like a lot of people. And that's just bringing back the spark that Christos and I have. We want to do. He came to me with this idea that he'd been, simmering on for a while called, I'm actually not going to tell you guys. I'll let that be an announcement that we make together. But basically, just like a space for, like, okay, I feel like I have to tell you this. If I can't say the name, my bad. But either way, it's just like to get in alignment with yourself and like be connected and tapped into like people around you and the world around you, and nature. And so, like, going to this birthday party was awesome because a lot of people came out just from an Instagram, hey, like, come out and connect and celebrate. And it was beautiful. I met a lot of cool people there, and it just, like I said, reignited our spark to, like, kind of make what we've had simmering actually happen at least once before we leave the city. So let us know. Like, is that something that you'd be interested in? Is like a free, totally free, just get together at like the beach or something? Just chill, hang out, do crafts, maybe have like a little guided, like, spiritual moment. But is that something you'd be into? Let me know. We'll make it happen. But other than that, there has not been much motion in Chrisland. Um, I know y'all don't know that much about me unless you know me in real life. And so let me know. Should I make a separate video on that? Who knows? I'm gonna go ahead and off camera finish some more of this ring and I'll check back in with you guys when it's time to add the gem. Bet it up. All right, I'm back. Oh, what? I think I'm gonna lower this. There we go. All right, I'm back. I have Beetle beside me. He is obsessed with this wire. But he can't have it. Anyway, locking in. As you can see, I am done going around the entirety of the ring. And so this is the side that has the 2 loops. This is what the side that has the bajillion loops looks like. And from the side. As you can see, if it has any it's gonna be a bit thicker on this side. Obviously, we just added wire to this, so it might look a little bit slanted in. It's really important that it just feels okay on your finger, That is the main importance here. And as you can see, we are doing great. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take this wire and start adding in these longer bits right here. And to do that, I like to wrap around the long bit first and the middle bit, and then we'll just pull that tight. As you can see what I'm talking about there a bit more. We wrapped around these 2. And now from there, I'm just gonna wrap around all 3 wires in this base, and I'll show you that in a moment. All right, so we are at this point, and if you can see here, what I've done is wrap this wire not super cleanly around this, and that's honestly on purpose because I want to have a little bit of gappage for when I'm wrapping the wire from the pearl and the coral. So that's where we're at now, y'all. I'm just gonna go ahead and play around a little bit with this coral and pearl and figure out exactly where I want this to be positioned. Okay. See, I'm not gonna lie. This is like a pretty weird spot for a hole to be in a bead. You see where it is? It's like right on the very edge of this bead. And so I was kind of concerned. By the way, Bead is his nickname, and so I think he's kind of like, what's up? So I was a little concerned of like how exactly am I gonna string this on here? And now that I'm playing with it, I think it's a simple answer. We're just gonna take that coral and then add this pearl on there if I can. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this to make it more flush because that end is so bent up that it's just not going through this bead. All right, it's going through just fine now. Perfect. Okay, this is what I wanted. A lot of beading is this struggle you see right here. On wire wrapping and any of it. But I kind of like that. Oh, that looks dumb. See, I have a vision, but let's see how this turns. So we're gonna let that be kind of up. All right, and from here, I'm gonna just start really tightly winding this around and up down on this thing. And we might need to like secure this down. But I want to make it look like intentional. Have it go around the pearl. I've just kind of wrapped this around in the best way I could to secure it. And it's looking like this. Okay. I kind of dig it. This is not the finished product. I'm gonna go ahead and snip off some of these excess wires. First, I'm tucking the tail of this copper, just like hiding it in there best I can. Boom. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut off these wire guys, and watch out because these go flying. I don't know why I look up. Well, that's why. Did you hear that? Oh, wait. And yeah, I kind of dig that. Or we can wear it the other way. And that shows more of like the natural coral. But that's what we got. And it looks nice and wrapped. If anything, you could go ahead and wrap some more wire in here. But that's what it looks like. I'm actually very happy with this. And I dig it. Very beautiful, very cool. I'll show you with some of my other rings momentarily. All right, here is the new ring with some of my other rings. And I'm just now noticing how this is more of like a silvery hand and not as coppery. So we might go ahead and swap these around. That looks a bit more correct. I do feel like I need to make a couple, I don't know, I just want to have like enough where I can mix and match. I usually wear the same ones over and over. And this ring's very important to me. Shout out, I think Bubblegum Riot is the artist name. It's a 223 bullet, and that's my birthday. Fire. I made this guy. This I got from an artist, forgetting the business, but it's over on Harrison Street in Oak Park. I made this guy. This is a moss agate. This I got from Sideshow Gallery years ago. I don't know the artist. It had another amethyst right here, but it's got amethyst, and of course I had to get it. Amethyst is my birthstone, and my cat's name is Beetle, and I used to collect dolls. made that guy and I made this guy. And so I actually love this. This turned out great. Shout out. Well, thank you for tagging along. I know that this was probably like a little bit shorter, weirder. I don't know. I'm still trying to find my footing a little bit here, to be honest. It will definitely happen naturally as I just keep making more and more videos, but I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be finding my footing here, and if you have like anything that you want to see me do, especially if it's like more crafts wise, any DIYs that you want to see me tackle, or if you just want to see like what I do in other areas of my life, or if you just want to hear me talk, like give me some feedback here, y'all. Like, what do you like from me? Are these crafts cool? Do you enjoy the crafts? Or do you want more of me just like speaking? I also do a lot of tarot and I'm very spiritual. And if you want to see more of like my spiritual journey that I'm really about to be diving into, like a bit more, I've been like novice level in like a lot of these more like serious forms of spirituality and like tapping into like Reiki, tapping into like yoga and apothecary stuff. Like I'm very witchy. I've definitely been spiritual my whole life. I have a lot of experience with dreams and in the dream realm. If that's something you want to see, let me know. But like this more 3D, hands-on, you know, organized spirituality, like in a way I haven't really explored it much, and I believe that like I will be. So if that's something you want to see a bit more of, let me know. Otherwise, just stay tuned for me. I can definitely guarantee you that this will always be the truest form of who I am. I'm never going to be putting on a front for this channel. I just want to pop on here and make space for me to exist. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for supporting, and I'll see you next time.